All right, we are running. Okay, loadings and bonuses, the very last section of this topic. So loadings and or bonuses are extra payments that can be made to an employee. A loading can take the form of an addition to the normal hourly rate and may be for working in a difficult or unpleasant condition. A holiday loading is a 17.5% addition to your normal pay for a period of which you're on your annual leave. So it's like an extra bit of pay that you get to take your annual leave. Bonuses can also be paid to employees and can take several forms. Most bonuses are percentages of your salary or the company's profits. So some questions. Number 1. Cecil is an industrial cleaner and is paid at a rate of $17.85 per hour. If Cecil works with toxic substances, he is paid a loading of $3.25 per hour. Calculate Cecil's pay for a week in which he works 42 hours in total, and 14 of those hours were with toxic substances. So there's going to be 2 parts to the calculation for this. First of all, we have his normal pay, and then we're going to have his extra pay that he gets for working with the toxic substances. So the normal pay, he gets $17.85 per hour, and he does that for 42 hours. So that's his normal pay for the week. Plus, he's going to get his toxic waste, toxic substances bonus. He gets $3.25 for each hour that he works with toxic substances. Can't say that very fast. How many hours does he work with those conditions? 14. Cash? The 14, excellent. So times 14 equals, and you type that in your calculator, and we get $795.20 for the week. Question 2. Jeremy works as a business manager and is paid a normal rate of $15.70 per hour for a 36-hour week. Calculate his normal weekly wage. Okay, that's the stuff we did in the very first lesson. Just normal pay. He gets $15.70 per hour, and he does that for 36 hours. So we just times those together. $15.70 times 36 is $565.20. Okay, now that I know his weekly pay, we have part B. For his 4 weeks of annual leave, so most jobs will get 4 weeks of annual leave a year, Jeremy is paid a loading of 17.5%. So that's an extra amount of money he gets for those 4 weeks. Calculate the amount that Jeremy receives in holiday loading. So we work out the percentage. He gets 17.5%, which means we put that over 100, times by his weekly wage. Okay, so his weekly wage was $565.20. That's what I worked out in the part A. However, I've also highlighted there that he gets 4 weeks. If I calculated that, that would only be for 1 week. He does this for 4 weeks, so I'm going to times it by 4, and that would be the total amount that he would get. So 17.5 over 100 times by, hope you all have your calculators, 565.2 and times by 4. So $395.64. That's his bonus. That's his holiday loading bonus. Part C says calculate the total amount that Jeremy receives for his 4 weeks of annual leave. So he gets $565.20 per week, right? So he's going to get that times 4 for 4 weeks. Plus, he's going to get that annual leave, the holiday leave loading that we just calculated, which was $395 That was already for 4 weeks, so don't times that by 4 again, okay? So equals. And that gets, has anyone calculated it? No? Yeah, what'd you get?
2,606.44.
And 56.44?
Oh.
Yeah, cool. I think that's what I had. All right, one last question. Bree earns $873.50 for a standard 35-hour week. They get time and a half for overtime and $64.95 per week allowance for working on scaffolding. So we've got quite a few parts in here. This is the weekly pay for doing 35 hours. We also know that there's some overtime involved in here, and they get a little bit of extra pay here for some danger pay for working on scaffolding. So we want to calculate the gross pay, which is the total pay for the week in which he works on scaffolding and does 6 hours of overtime. Okay, so first of all, if we've got overtime in there, we need to know what Bree is getting per hour. So I take these first two parts here, that $873.50 for 35 hours. If I divide $873.50 by the 35, that will tell me how much he gets paid per hour. And that works out to be $24.96. Remember, the per is the slash hour. Okay, so I've worked out there the hourly rate of pay. So that then allows me to work out everything else. If I want to get their total pay or their gross pay for the week, they get the $873.50. That was their normal weekly pay for 35 hours, right? Plus, they get time and a half for their overtime. Can you see how many hours of overtime they did? I didn't highlight it. It's down here. 6 hours of overtime. So that is $24.96 per hour. You times that by 6 hours and you times that by time and a half. That's not all. What else does this person get? Their scaffolding pay, I heard someone say. All right, they also get, it's not per hour or anything like that, it's just $64.95 that they get extra if they work on scaffolding that week, which he does. Okay, does that make sense? Normal pay, overtime pay, scaffold pay, and we type it all in. Anyone get an answer? You should get, hopefully, 1,163.09.